Hello Internet, my name is Lave and this week I watched Free Fire, which is the latest film from director Ben Wheatley, who also directed Kill List, Sightseers, A Field in England and High Rise, which is a film I wasn't too sure on at first but have since grown to love it, and I was really excited for his latest film because the trailers looked really funny. Like High Rise, Free Fire is set in the 70s and tells the story of two Irishmen and their crew in Boston, America, looking to do an arms deal through American contacts with some South African gun smugglers, and let's just say things go hilariously wrong. Plot-wise, that is pretty much it. It is essentially a one-location shoot-'em-up movie, but it is deliciously violent and funny. I think it's really apt that one of the first lines in the film, a character says, "Talk about breaking a walnut with a sledgehammer." That really sums up this film. It has got a stellar cast and they all do a good job, nothing more than that. Michael Smiley, one of Ben Wheatley's go-to actors, plays one of the Irishmen alongside Cillian Murphy. They have some really good banter with Armie, who's the suave American guy. Sam Riley and Jack Reynor also put in good performances. They're a bunch of reprobates. They're all reprobates, actually. They're just likeable reprobates. And I also really liked Babou, Ceesay, who's not in it all that much, but he does have one of the best one-liners. But easily the standout performance for me is Sharlto Copley as the South African gun trafficker. His kinetic energy and style, everything he said in the film is just absolutely hilarious. I don't think this film would have worked without him. Brie Larson is also in this film. I thought she was quite sassy as Justine. Reportedly, Olivia Wilde was originally set to play her, but then she dropped out. It is quite funny to think that the last film that I saw Brie Larson in was Kong Skull Island, which is also set in the 70s, but at least in this one, I really bought into the chemistry between her and Cillian Murphy's character. I do wonder, with such an impressive cast, how much of the $10 million budget went on them, but that's not to say that the rest of the production suffered as a result of it. It is a really good looking film. The action scenes are all choreographed really well and edited together beautifully. It's a good looking film. And on top of that, it's got a really good 70s soundtrack, which isn't really that hard to do, but it is a simple film in terms of its premise and the way that it's constructed, and at times it does feel like an overstretched joke, but the fact that it is only an hour and a half just about gets it across the line for me. Anyone going into this looking for some deeper meaning is going to be disappointed. I suppose you could argue that it is an anti-gun film, I suppose, but really it's just a decent action black comedy. So that's my thoughts on Free Fire, and pause the video if you want to take a closer look at my enjoyment tracker now. I did have a really good time with this film, but I was maybe a little bit disappointed. A part of me was going into this expecting it to be this year's Nice Guys, a film that critics love but just doesn't perform very well. I do think it's worth going to see with a lot of your mates. It's a lad film. It's a film that's probably best watched when you're hungover with all your mates and you don't really want to turn on your brain too much. You just want to have fun, and it is fun. And any die-hard fans of Ben Wheatley will not be disappointed. This one is much more in line with Sightseers. This is a much more commercially accessible film as to, say, A Field in England and High Rise. I think of Ben Wheatley as a more hardcore version of Edgar Wright. I believe Edgar Wright did produce one of his films, but very similar in style, and he's still one of the most interesting British directors working today. So thanks very much for watching my review of Free Fire. I really do appreciate it. If you can, give this video a like and don't forget to share the lay. That's it, you fuck. Subscribe.